Mackinac Island in the Great Lakes. The Indians considered it to be the sacred home of Manitou, the Great Spirit. Old John Jacob Astor, that wily fur trader, took advantage of this fact and made it his headquarters. Each spring, thousands of Indians and trappers met here and traded their furs. Their value ran into millions. By 1820, the trade following the depletion of the furs moved west. Now the Indians and the trappers are gone. But a new migration once again is returning to the Indians' hallowed ground, a wellspring of the youth of America and of the world, the harbingers of hope and dedication. This is a new breed emerging, who will not wait for a blighted inheritance. They are not just in revolt, but looking for solutions to problems we, the older generation, seem to have left unsolved. Many of them have come at great personal sacrifice or through the financial sacrifice of others. Here is one of them, Dave Warren, at his home. He is a senior at Washington State University and president of the student body.
In Southeast Asia, a bewildering situation. It could mean anything to the world of...
You are needed to build tomorrow's America now. The aims of the Mackinac Conference are to build homes in which families learn to live together, to build industry in which management and labor work together, to build a nation in which all races, colors, and classes lead the whole world into the next stage of human evolution. One week later, I found myself with a delegation from the Northwest on board a chartered plane bound for Mackinac Island, Michigan. I learned that 9 other chartered planes were departing that same day from all over the country. A group of 67 from the pueblos of New Mexico and Arizona set off from Phoenix and Albuquerque. In Los Angeles, Mayor Yorty gave a message to representatives of the 49 colleges and high schools in the California delegation. He told them, "You young men and women attending this conference are the hope of your country, for only through you will come full understanding between all peoples." Appalachia was represented by students from the mining valleys of West Virginia and Kentucky. Planes were also winging in from Miami and Atlanta. A flight arrived at Pellston, Michigan, with delegations from Boston and New York. They were greeted by the Melodiers, the Livonia, Michigan high school band. Mackinac Island. Will we really find here the way to answer the hurts and the hates that are splitting America apart? We registered for the conference. After registering, we headed for our rooms. The first morning starts with a bang. What a fascinating scene. 1,200 delegates in the Great Hall. It looks like a national convention held under a giant teepee. Regional delegations sit together. Governor James Hanna of the Tesuque Pueblo introduces representatives of American Indian tribes from across the nation. The thundertones of Santa Fe rock the rafters to the delegation's delight. The Southern delegation of Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and the Carolinas introduce themselves. The West Virginia delegation sings for the assembly. A spirited delegation from Boston makes their presentation. To my surprise, I find myself on the platform with our delegation from the Northwest, reading a message from Governor Rossellini of Washington. The Rivieras from Corvallis, Oregon set the audience clapping. The plane load from Florida also includes Cubans from Miami and representatives from many countries of Latin America.
Now I want you to meet and hear from Peter Howard, who's in... Mr. Peter Howard is an author, playwright, political columnist and sportsman. He's in charge of the World Program of Moral Rearmament. His latest book, Designed for Dedication, has just appeared with a first printing of 200,000 copies, the largest edition ever produced by Regnery, the publisher. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter Howard.
Now, I tell you what I want to see come out of this assembly. I want 4 things from everybody here, young and old. First of all, a body, strong, disciplined, and pure. Second, a mind, active, honest, teachable by God and their fellow men till the end of time. Third, a heart which loves home, homeland, and humanity. I get absolutely fed up with people now who talk idealistically about, oh, the great world, freedom, ta-ra-ra. They don't love their own country. They don't love their own home enough to work to unite it. Hearts that love home, homeland, and humanity. None of those 3 by itself will work. Then a spirit which recognizes that there's more in all of us than liquid, chemicals, fat, muscle, and bone. That there's a germ of greatness lying in every man everywhere. A spirit free from prejudice and intolerance of class, race, wealth, or any other form of materialism. Body, mind, heart, and spirit free. This is what Macaulay said 130 years ago. Your republic will be pillaged and ravaged in the 20th century just as the Roman Empire was by the barbarians in the 5th century, with this difference, that the devastation of the Roman Empire came from abroad, while your barbarians will be the people of your own country and the product of your own institutions. When Macaulay said that, men thought he was mad. I personally believe that the whole world stands or falls on America. If America fails, the world fails. America will not fail, and I want for my part to end by making you a prophecy about America. I believe America, morally rearmed, will capture the allegiance of the entire world, communist and non-communist alike, and will lead man into an age of justice, sanity, freedom, and lasting peace. I believe this will be not by the gold in your purse, which will increase, nor by the gun in your hand, which must be maintained, but by the guts of your youth, the genius of your amazing multiracial society, and the guidance of Almighty God, in whom, according to the words printed on the dollar, we already place our trust.
From the Great Hall, we moved to our student workshops. In the theater workshop, a cast began rehearsal of a musical on stage. At the same time, other students are studying set design, costumes, radio, TV, music, cooking, secretarial work, and nursing. My choice is journalism.
You're Kathy Green, right?
Yes.
From Hollywood? I'd like you to go down and see some of the cooks and interview them about how they're going to feed the conference and everything, okay? Have that in before 4:30 for tomorrow's edition.
Fine.
Kathy Quinn?
Yes.
From Mexico. I'd like you to go down and interview Susan Cornell, and this has to be in at 4:30 also.
All right, what do you want on it?
Let's ask her what she thinks the significance of the conference is.
Yeah.
Oh, say, Jim, I see here that you're interested in basketball. I was wondering if you'd like to interview John Sayre and find out what his views are on sports and what it has to do with the conference. Have it in before 4:30 tonight.
Right.
Okay, fine. Dave?
Yeah.
I see here that you're interested in student government. Mr. Belcher's running the conference, and we're going to have someone interview him. I'd like you to go over and see what's coming off, what the schedule is and everything.
Fine.
Tim, this is a letter to be sent to the nation's major newspaper editors.
Yes, I'm in charge here of the kitchen. Well, who cooks all the food? Well, we have about 120 girls from all over this continent who come in here every day for training, and they cook for about 1,200 delegates.
But are they
all delegates from this conference? Yes, every one of them. I'd love you to meet one. Rowena? This is Rowena Yazzie, who comes from New Mexico, and she's part of the Navajo Indian delegation to the conference. How do you do? Very nice to meet you. You seem to enjoy cooking vegetables.
Oh, yes, we enjoy cooking these vegetables. I find it very important to know how to prepare vegetables because on the Navajo reservation, we do have the vegetables, but we don't know how to use it. And by being here, I feel like I can take part of this training back with me.
That's excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, where does all the food come from? Well, actually, a truck is just pulling in straight underneath us here, and it's come from California with about 17 tons of fresh vegetables and fruits on it, and much of that is gifts from different California farmers.
But with all these people learning how to cook, what does the food come out like in the end?
That's a good question, but I suggest you go and try it. It's almost lunchtime.
Thank you very much. That's a good idea.
At lunchtime, we settle back to a hearty meal, and there's plenty of it, too. As always, there's KP work to be done. Wow.
Hi, Susie. Hello. I don't believe you two have met yet. Well, I've seen you on the sports field. This is Susie Cornell from Washington, D.C. She went to Radcliffe.
Hi, Sue.
Ned Owens from Boston. She's not only a great athlete, she's also an oratory champion for her state. Well, I'd like to toss out a few questions to you. One thing I'd like to know is, how do the youth here really expect to make a difference in the way America's going? Well, everyone in this country seems to be worried about the youth. Never before have 1,000 young Americans met together like this to plan for the future of this country and the whole world, and to speak in the name of freedom and democracy. We intend to raise a storm of new thinking and revolution right across the country, in cities and states, in schools and colleges. And we believe that people in every walk of life are going to listen to us. Could you articulate for me what you feel to be the highest patriotism of a race in America?
Well, I'll speak for my race. I'm dead set against this "we shall overcome" and that coined expression, "give us freedom." America needs to grow up and realize that the problem isn't one of color or class, but character. That Americans don't ask for too much, they ask for too little. All our races need to gather and cure the crisis of character that faces the world as a whole.
Well, do you want to especially change the leaders or to rally the sound folk of America? I mean, is this for everyone?
Of course it's for everyone. But we do want to change the leaders, but that may depend on their seeing a force of young Americans who've changed first and who then demand the kind of leadership they want. And don't forget, Kathy, by 1966, more than half the population of this country will be under the age of 25. In 10 years' time, we will be the leaders.
In the afternoon, the entire conference takes part in a physical fitness program.
Come on, Dick, go! Yes, sir. 10.
Down on the sports field, I interviewed John Sayer, Olympic gold medal winner and director of the conference sports program. Mr. Sayer, we see that you have a well-planned and extensive athletic program here. I wonder if you could give us some of the specific things you hope to accomplish with this program.
Well, one of the principal aims, Jim, is to answer the tremendous physical softness of America today. You've got over half of American youth who can't even pass a basic physical fitness test, and you've got 51% of all your military draftees rejected because of physical or mental defects. We want to raise a group of youth that'll cure that.
Do you think this general softness in American youth has influenced our performance in the Olympic Games?
I think it's had a very great influence. America has declined, certainly as a sporting power in recent years. I think the physical softness is part of it, and also the fact that sport has no longer stuck to its true function, which is to emphasize not only physical fitness, but the character building through the youth of this country that will fit them for the leadership of the future. Sadly, American athletes have become better known in recent years for their bad behavior off the sporting field rather than for their performance on it. We also want to cure that.
And tonight there'll be an international hootenanny in the big tent at 8 o'clock.
I have an opportunity to interview the conference chairman at the end of the afternoon session.
Say, Mr. Belk, I wonder if I might have an interview with you for the paper.
Yes?
I understand you're a Navy veteran and also a Southerner.
That's right.
Well, what impact do you feel the elections in November will have on the South this year, and
What role do you think this conference can play in shaping that impact?
Well, I see Mackinac as the answer to Mississippi. And whichever political party wins in November, whether the Republicans or the Democrats, they're going to have to deal with the hates and the injustices and the fears that underlie all the racial issues in America. And unless we cure this basic division, America's hands in the modern world, and I think in one hand we've got dollars, in the other hand we've got guns, our hands are going to be tied.
I see. And how do you think the youth fit into this picture?
Well, I believe the youth will lead the way. You've got youth in this conference from every race and every background who are willing to pay the price in their own lives to build a new society. A new society where hatred, fear, and discrimination is as old-fashioned and as out-of-date as a T-Model Ford is to a jet airplane. I see coming out of this conference a great liberation for America that will enable this country to bind up the wounds of history and set nations free.
The climax of the day is a gigantic barbecue held on the shores of Lake Huron. In the evening, we crowd under the great tent for a hootenanny presented by the conference delegates.
Welcome to the Big Top. You're listening to the Melodiers, the Livonia, Michigan High School Band. Thank you very much. I'm going to say 3 words now that mean the happiest music on Mackinac Island. The Caldwell Brothers.
Looking for something new to do. Gotta do something new when you're blue. Why not go for a spin? And so I got right in the dryer. The dryer? My mother's high-speed dryer. Around and around and around and around I go. Around and around and around and around I go. Getting my kicks from the old Bendix. As around and around and around and around and around and around I go. Just about had my fill of this thrill. Pretty soon I'll be needing a pill. Well, wanna get out, feeling bone dry. Someone come along and turn it on high. Around and around and around and around I go. Around and around and around and around I go. I'm not gonna last. I'm getting nowhere fast. As around and around and around and around and around and around I go. Hey, wait a minute now. Hey, this is getting to be a habit. As around and 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 around. Get the ironing board, Ma. I've got a few wrinkles to straighten out.
We have collected some of our finest musicians this evening to sing a song that is going to ask a question that may someday mean peace on earth. Here is What Color is God's Skin?
Good night, I said to
to my little son, so tired out when the day is done. Then he said as I tucked him in, tell me, Daddy, what color's God's skin? What color is God's skin? What color is God's skin? I said it's black, brown, it's yellow, it is red, it is white. Every man the same in the good Lord's sight. He looked at me with his shining eyes. I knew I could tell no lies when he said, Daddy, why do the different races fight if we're the same in the good Lord's sight? What color is God's skin? What color is God's skin? I said it's black, brown, it's yellow, it is red, it is white. Every man the same in the good Lord's sight. Son, don't forget your long-suffering past. Freedom and justice are here at last. The whole human family a new road will trod, as the daughters and the sons of God. What color is God's skin? What color is God's skin? I said it's black, brown, it's yellow, it is red, it is white. Every man the same in the good Lord's sight. These words to America a man once hurled, God's last chance to make a world. The different races are meant to be our strength and glory from sea to sea. What color is God's skin? What color is God's skin? I said it's black, brown, it's yellow, it is red, it is white. Every man's the same in the good Lord's sight. I said it's black, brown, it's yellow, it is red, it is white. Every man's the same in the good Lord's sight. Every man's the same in the good Lord's sight.
I'm happy to say that this conference now has a theme song. And we're going to play it tonight, and I'm going to ask you all to sing and play it louder and better than we've ever played it before. Which Way, America?
Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way to go? This is my country and I want to know which way America is going to go. There is many a road to travel, many a hill to climb. I'm gonna find the straightest road and walk it till the end of time. Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way to go? This is my country and I want to know which way America is going to go. Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way to go? This is my country and I want to know which way America is going to go. There is many a road to travel, many a hill to climb. I'm gonna find the straightest road and walk it till the end of time. Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way, America? Which way we go? This is my country and I want to know which way America is going to go. Which way, America? Which way?
The torch has been passed to a new generation. The question, which way America, is now ours to face. It is a question which demands an immediate answer. America today has her angry young men who wallow in the mud of their own moral decay. We need angrier young men and women with a new revolutionary concept. Young men and women who refuse to tolerate the popular philosophy that wrong is right if enough people do it. We believe the heart of the problem is not color or class or culture. It is rather a problem of character. We need men with new motives and aims, great enough for the dynamic age in which we live. Men who are willing to face honestly the urgent needs of the world, and to place those needs before their own private ambition. We challenge the millions of youth to join with us in building a future free of discrimination of any kind, where man no longer cheats, fears, or worships his fellow man. This great goal is not a petty amusement of our generation, but the singing and clamor of an emerging revolution. We are rebels with a cause. Will you be a part of that revolution?
I want to know.